Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Mike Tellerino. I am your host for tonight's TV show. Tonight I got a couple really special guests with me. I got Kristin Hogan from the Ferguson Company, and I've got Rick LeDonne. He is my co-host tonight. I'm going to start out with you, Kristin. Tell us about how we came about partnering with K9.
Yep, so Ferguson was actually looking for an organization that provided service animals to veterans with PTSD. And we had a young man, Anthony Gartner, one of our associates, who did some research and found K9s here in the Chicago area. So I reached out to you, Michael, and presented a project, and you thought it would be a perfect fit for the organization.
And it's been a perfect fit, yes. What inspires Ferguson to support veterans and partnering with K9? How did that all come about? I mean, you've always sponsored working with veterans?
So Ferguson actually in 2023 was, through Military Times, was picked as one of the best or the best company to provide employment for veterans. And several years ago, the organization, we started these business resource groups, we call them BRGs, and the one for veterans is called Valor. And it's for veterans that work for the company as well as their families or the associates that also support veterans. So we've been doing a lot of activities for veterans through the company.
Right.
And but obviously, my husband is a 34-year retired veteran, so it touches my heart.
34 years?
34 years in the Navy, and so I do a lot with our American Legion locally in Ohio, and so this is a special place in my heart. But the organization, our company nationwide, does a lot of activities to support veterans.
Well, we were talking, and you said you have a special group that handles nothing but veterans, and
Yep.
you do a lot of employment opportunities for veterans as well.
Yes, so that's
right?
the Valor Group. It's VALOR,
Right.
and it'd be a trick question if I knew what it all stood for. I didn't write it down, but they call it Valor, but it's obviously a veterans, the veterans group that is sponsored by our corporate company. And we have monthly calls. We actually just had the newsletter that came out yesterday that told the story about the dog dedication ceremony from
Right.
last Saturday. So we share that with our other members across the country and let them know that things that we're doing nationwide to support veterans.
Now, I do have a question. For Valor, there are specific programs in the military when you are getting out that is work release. So they
Yes.
will let you go of your contract. Does Valor qualify for those work release so those veterans can get a taste of working a civilian job prior to this?
So it's such a great question because Jim Galini, our VP, who's also a veteran, has actually started working with that group. We're not set up with that today, but it's something that we're looking into to definitely get those veterans in to start early. So it's something we're very aware of. And it's very new that we've started hearing that through the Valor Group that they've been sharing with us. So I'm excited.
It's giving me goosebumps
There you
just
go.
hearing it.
Yep.
I remember going through the program myself and all the work release that they had you choose from, and it was nothing that ever fell into the category that somebody in the infantry would ever want to go out and do.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely, we have so many things, I'll probably tell you a little bit. Ferguson is a plumbing wholesale company. That's what we're predominantly known for, but we're nationwide. We're probably the largest in the country. We have, we got to write over 1,700 locations, over
Wow.
35,000 associates that work for us nationwide. And so we have a lot going on, but that's what started this whole relationship was selling products. And
I remember getting a call from you, and you had proposed, you had learned about K9 and the impact that these service dogs have on our veterans, and you were just really impressed by the feedback that the veterans were providing in the videotapes that you had watched off of our website.
yes.
And never did I think in a million years when we first talked, I'm happy to report that Ferguson has sponsored eight service dogs. And you have changed the life of these 8 veterans. You'll never fully comprehend how you've changed their life. Rick will be able to tell you what it's done for him.
It was altering, extremely altering. I came out of the military, took me a few months to even realize that there was a change because of the environment that you are surrounded in when you're in. And I went into deep, dark depression. Found and got connected with K9s, and within, I would say, a month and a half, my family members, my fiance, all of them started seeing the change, and they said it was different side of the person that they've never met before. So
Wow.
And by Ferguson sponsoring these service dogs, we were able to provide these service dogs to these veterans 100% free, thanks to the amazing donations, not only monetarily, but by products that you were able to donate. And I'm still...
It's a funny story.
I'm still trying to comprehend the amount that was donated to us. And it allowed us to open a three-day extravaganza sale to sell these products to raise not only the money that you sponsored those service dogs with, but also to raise more money so we could sponsor additional service dogs. I mean, it was just truly an amazing gift. I mean, there's not many companies out there like Ferguson that I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I have never worked with a company as awesome as Ferguson in what they're doing for our veterans.
Well, I'll tell you that a lot of this started with our customers and our associates supporting a promotion we wanted to run. And that's where it all started. If the customers weren't engaged and involved in wanting to support
Right.
K9s, none of this would have worked. And so when I talked to some veteran contractors and the plumbing community and the building community, we have a lot of veterans in that group. There's a lot
Right.
of blue collar folks that have veteran family members. So when I told the story of K9 for Veterans, that we were saving the life of a veteran and as well as a K9 who's rescued from a kill shelter, it was like, hey, if you don't like a dog or a veteran, then what the
the
heck?
hardest sell you have.
I always said I've got the best of both worlds. I get up in the morning, I get to rescue a dog from a shelter, I get to present it to a veteran and ultimately change his life.
Yes.
Hopefully,
How
eventually
does it-
bring those numbers of veterans who
Yeah, how does it get any better for me than that?
Well, and that's how we feel. That's how our associates and when we get to go back, we attended, quite a few of us attended the dedication service
Right.
last weekend, and now we get to go back and show our customers what they helped us donate toward. And that part is it's coming full circle, and the story's getting out, and we're talking to other vendors and we're talking to other companies and sharing that information of a way that you can, instead of, hey, you run a promotion where you buy this and I'm going to give you a hat or I'm going to give you a cup. Well, instead, how about if I take that money and I donate it to getting a K9 for a
It doesn't
veteran?
get better than that.
It has
doesn't.
been off the chain the most successful thing.
I mean,
we actually ran out, when we ran the promotion for pumps, we ran out of pumps out of our distribution center, and we had to extend, and we're talking thousands. We had to extend the promotion another month because we had to wait for more inventory to come in.
Get out.
It was absolutely off the chain.
How does it feel knowing that the company has such a great core value
Yes.
that they were so willing to step up to the plate
Yes.
based on Kirsten's idea? Let's try
One
this.
person out of 35,000 speaks up, and all of a sudden,
Right?
they're running with it.
That's exactly, and everybody supported it. There was not one person that for 1 minute paused and said, "Are we sure we want to do this?" No, everybody was saying, "How can we do more?" That was, and it's contagious because what you do for these veterans.
It's life changing for them.
Yes.
It
Not
is.
only does it speak volumes about Ferguson, but it speaks volumes about you, the fact that you were able to get an entire company to jump ship with you.
Well, that says a lot
to
about the
get-
company
yes,
itself.
It does.
I mean, you could bring any idea to a company and say, "Hey, what do you think
And you
it
can
is?"
get shot down
But
immediately.
for them to jump on it, especially being for veterans.
Yeah.
I mean, your husband, 34-year
Yeah.
Navy veteran, it's got to be near and dear to your heart.
Very much
You know what I mean? Our veterans, that service dog presentation, when you had all those people from Ferguson there, I'll never forget when that first dog walked out and that veteran fell to her knees,
Yes.
grabbed that dog was just loving on her, kissing on her, and if that doesn't melt your heart, nothing will.
That was the one that had me.
Yeah, I mean,
I was crying over that one.
And you always say it best. I mean, it is the gift that keeps
It
on
does.
giving.
It is.
You will
It is.
never, you may not see the progression, but you will see the change.
Yes.
Well, I was telling Kristin that when we get a lot of veterans in a program, they're maybe apprehensive about coming into the program. is this going to work for me? Do I want to walk around with a dog with a vest on that says PTSD?
That was me.
It's a game changer. But once the veteran accepts the fact that this is what he needs, to acknowledge that he needs help, that's the first step in getting better. Until you can acknowledge that, you're never going to get better.
That dog turns into your lifeline, and it is the one lifeline that you can guarantee will never fail you.
You're a reason to get up in the morning.
Exactly.
You got to take care of them. It gives you...
Mine wakes me up if I sleep in 10 minutes past my alarm.
Yeah.
He'll start nudging me with his nose. Hey, time to feed me,
They
time to go out.
become...
awesome.
Rick, when we were in the service, we all had a battle buddy.
Oh, yes.
Somebody always had our back. When
Yes.
we come home, we don't have that.
Right.
These dogs become our battle buddies. They're there for us every step of the way. But getting back to Ferguson, I'm still amazed of the reception that we got from the people that were at the service dedication. They were just so gracious and so happy to be there, and so happy to be a part of what Ferguson was doing.
Well,
and again, that's...
3 of them were veterans.
Yeah.
So we had 3 of the folks that traveled, and we had folks coming from Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, and someone all the way from southern Indiana.
Wow.
We had folks traveling in from Ferguson Associates coming from 5 states to participate. And because it's meant something, we started this in, I think, March of last year, March, April, May, and they were folks that helped drive and tell the story and move the products, that got the donations. And so they were honored to be here, and every one of them said what a difference it made for them to spend time with the veterans, see that connection with the dogs, and see the impact and how much of a difference just being there made for those folks.
That's why we do the service dog dedication. Reggie Latuc, our vice president and co-founder, her passion is that service dog dedication. Nobody hands off. That's hers.
Yeah.
And the reason why we promote that so well, because people need to see
They do.
in person what these dogs mean to our veterans. We could talk all day long about, the dog does this, dog does that. But when you see these veterans
It goes
interacting...
farther than that as well, because it goes farther than that as well, because you are seeing the vested dogs that are being presented their vest, but you're also seeing the newer generation coming in and what the program does for them.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just something when I seen all those people from Ferguson come in, and they weren't there just to be there for a day trip. They were there
They brought
in
their families.
spirit.
They brought
were
their
there,
kids.
They were there in spirit.
Yes.
They were so happy to be a part of that and stuff like that. So, and again, that's all due to, I guess, Ferguson's motto of, helping.
Yep, service and integrity and everything about the values
It's
of the
showing
company.
that it extends far beyond their product and into their everybody that works for the company. It extends into each individual.
So, and to be fair, we also participate in golf tournaments that support the PTSD organization for veterans nationwide. We do the Wreaths Across America. We do at Arlington. We participate in a ceremony. I participate locally as well as other associates nationwide. So through the Valor, they remind everyone, hey, it's coming up. Sign up at this link. Participate. So it allows all of us to be as involved as we can locally, as well as what they do at headquarters.
But that's a
amazing.
good testament to the core values of Ferguson.
Yes.
There's not many companies out there that feel that way.
Yeah, it makes me really, really proud. I've been with the company for almost 30 years, and
I'm still in shock and awe of what you've donated. Not only sponsoring those service dogs and paying to sponsor those service dogs, but the amount of product you donated.
And I can speak on this a little bit, being as my first 6 months out of the military, I was doing side job plumbing with my grandfather, who swore by Ferguson.
Wow.
Everything and I had no idea that they supported veterans this much prior to actually meeting you and talking with you, but he swore by putting Ferguson products in homes, and now I support his decision even more, because not only did they last and did they work properly, but everything is going towards a good cause.
Wow, thank you. That's a nice to hear.
I mean, it's the little things that you don't know sometimes.
Right. Well, who'd think?
Yeah, who would think?
You know what? It's just an amazing gift. Like I said, what Ferguson has done for K9 in the past 6 months, 7 months, however long we've been partnered together, I still find it hard to believe.
Well, and I keep telling you we're not done yet.
Oh God, and that scares me.
I know.
That scares
Every
me.
time, well, and because every time I tell your story, and I was joking with you, but it's true. I've become like a little minor bird. When I hear I learn something new from you every single time we talk, and I'm able to share that with other people. And when I am able to, with your passion and with your heart, I feel like I'm able to convey that to others, and then they come up and say, "What can we do?"
I do?
And that's what happened with Watts.
Yeah.
And with Disney McLean, the manufacturer's rep in Ohio. As soon as he heard about what we were doing, he didn't
amazing.
even ask a question. First, he supported another promotion selling Watts products, which again has been very successful. But the owner of Disney McLean, Craig Cumberledge, actually sat down and wrote a check and had me deliver it to
Right,
you
I know.
for another service animal. So it just keeps, like you say, gift keeps giving. I just keep telling the story. People I don't think enough people know. And can I talk about your memorial for a minute?
Oh, please do.
So I don't know how to pronounce the name of the park. So Shanahan Park.
Shanahan State Park.
So one of the leaders of Valor came out from Newport News, Virginia, and came out the day before the dedication ceremony. And we went down. He's an Army veteran, 20 years. His name is Quinn Overton, and we went down to the memorial. And I'll tell you, if that didn't put all of this together, to see this magnificent, granite pillar with the branches of the military on it, and then you look at the back and you see the names engraved with the names of veterans who have killed themselves or taken their own lives from PTSD. You just can't. I mean, it really
humbling.
brought home. Yeah,
think
it's got to stop.
It does.
It has
It
to
does.
stop. 22 a day. It
I
has
think-
to stop.
I think when you go to the memorial, it's a beautiful memorial. I think, but when you walk around to the back of that memorial and you see 60 names on just the military for the branches
branch.
of the Army,
Yeah,
Sickening.
it's sickening.
it hits home.
It
I
does.
mean, those are real kids, real people who
Husbands, fathers, brothers.
Exactly.
Right.
And what K9 is trying to do is keep those names off that wall.
Absolutely.
There is another way out besides
Yeah,
that.
exactly. You don't need to take that final step. These
You
service
already
dogs,
signed your life on a check. That check is null and void
and,
now.
Not to be disrespectful to the VA, because I won't do that.
Absolutely not.
I mean, that's my own personal belief, but I just don't think they're doing enough
No.
to help our veterans.
Or fast enough.
Right.
Yeah, you got 22 veterans,
I mean-
and that number is low. We
Yes.
all know
Right,
that. But that number is never going to change because it's too associated with PTSD suicide.
Yes.
So they're never going to change that 22.
No.
It's always going to be
That's going to be the lowest it's
It
going to
could
go.
be 40, but it'll always be 22 for recognition of PTSD. And again, I've worked with a lot of companies, and working with you has been a trip, I got to tell you. It's been
We've had a good time.
Yeah.
I still remember the first time talking to you at the Bolingbrook store, and I
Yeah.
heard 8 dogs are being sponsored, and I was like, wait
Yeah.
a second,
Yeah.
what, 8 dogs?
Nobody does
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I
Nobody
have not
does that.
seen one.
If we get one sponsored, we're
Over
thrilled
the
to
moon.
death. So when you came to me and said, first 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3.
You're going more than 2 fingers. What's
I
going
thought,
on
Yeah.
here?
well, what's up with this? You know what I mean? Could this really be happening? And then again, not only the service dogs that you sponsored, the product that you donated to
Oh, yeah,
K9.
that was-
I mean, we opened up a resale store for 3 days just to sell your lighting fixtures that we got an abundance of.
More than either one of us thought about. Yeah. The trucks just kept coming.
Truckloads. These were truckloads coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
26 foot. These were
Not pickup
semis.
trucks. They
Yeah,
were
semi-trucks.
18-wheelers coming
Yeah.
I mean,
right through the...
Our volunteers are going, okay.
You want me to unload that?
Is there any more coming in?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, like I said.
Well, and it was discontinued product, and it was things that we would have sent to
yeah,
liquidation.
but nobody does that.
No.
Well, and that
they
would-
would have rather
so-
get rid of the product, and it speaks volumes for Ferguson that they're willing to just take this discontinued product
Again,
and
that's a
donate it to
testament
this.
to who you work
Well,
for.
and that started. I'm gonna name drop again. So that
Go.
started here locally with Drummond Sanchez. He's my area counter manager here for Chicagoland, and he had some discontinued faucets and toilets, brand new, still in a box.
Oh, yeah,
a
beautiful.
warranty, everything about it.
High-end faucets.
High-end faucets, because they were discontinued right before inventory, we tried to clear them out because they they take up space and they're no longer something
New
that we're
products,
selling.
Right.
places
New
to
stuff,
go.
new models came in, so we need to get it out of the store. So it was his idea, and I think that was a couple pallets. And then the lighting thing came, and that one surprised me too.
Well, you called me and I'm on the phone with you, and you said, "Can you use some lighting fixtures?" I went, "Oh, sure. We could use anything. We could sell them in our resale store." And then I started getting these calls from trucking companies.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, how many pallets you have?" "We got 14 pallets."
Yeah.
"I got 20 pallets." "I got 10 pallets." I'm going,
We're gonna need a bigger stock room.
well, you gave us so much that there was no way we're going to put that in our resale
Right.
store
Right.
that we have in Bolingbrook. So the prominent Bolingbrook Mall has been just amazing to us. They gave us a huge store
Yes.
that we could store all of it and have a 3-day sale, which we're going to be having another 3-day sale
Good.
in another couple weeks. So, and again, that's all possible through Ferguson.
Yeah, when he sent me the videotape of the storage room with all the boxes, I was.
I know they posted it on Facebook, and I was blown away. I was
Yeah.
like, "Where did all of this come
Oh, it's
from?"
crazy. I posted a video. People going,
I was with you when you were getting the calls from the trucking companies
Yeah.
because they had nowhere to go. They didn't know how to get there.
the director just gave us a 5-minute warning.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
why don't you
Darn,
tell
we're having
us?
such a good time.
I know. Why don't you tell us? Do you have any upcoming events for Ferguson?
Well, so here in locally, we're actually doing something. One of our other BRGs is called Hola, and it's for the Hispanic community, members of our company that are from Hispanic or Latin American. And we're doing a counter day here, and I don't have, it's in October, but we're doing that at one of our locations, and we're also donating from that business group to an organization here that helps with some immigrants with some furniture for some housing.
Awesome.
And so we're going to have a counter
Again.
day and lunch and a big party. That's coming up here in Chicagoland.
Again, that just goes to the company you work for. It's an
Ferguson
amazing company.
cares.
And the people I met at the service dog dedication, I'm telling you, they were just unbelievable. They were just so into being there and witnessing the program and the effect that these service dogs had on our veterans. I mean, I can't thank Ferguson enough. I can't thank you enough because you're the one that put this all together.
Well,
for
and
K9.
I've told you more than once, this does more for me. And I would encourage anyone else, any other company, manufacturer, business. This was really, really easy to do, and it's so rewarding for me personally, for professionally and personally. It's changed my life, and I just want to keep doing more.
Well, I don't know how much more you could do, young lady, because you knocked it out of the park.
No, I'm
You know,
absolutely
well,
happy to do
I
it.
mean,
You really did.
What
Thank you.
Ferguson has done for K9, bar none, hands down. You set the bar for other
There you
companies
go.
to follow.
We can make
They
a
gotta try
challenge.
and
We can
top
put a
this
challenge
now.
out there. Yeah. Or if you want to partner with us, we'll figure it out and give me a call.
Well, I can't thank you enough. Rick, thank you for being my
Oh,
co-host.
yeah,
This is your first one
absolutely.
tonight.
Yes, sir, it is.
Very well.
It's your
yeah.
first day as co-host
It
with
is.
me. So
Well,
thank you for
Hopefully
being
many
here.
more.
Yeah,
There will be.
Yeah, I
And
really appreciate
Kristin-
your contribution. It really to the conversation because
Absolutely.
you're what it's about, right? You're
Yeah,
what we
absolutely.
did this for.
I am the groundwork
Yeah, you
essentially.
are.
I am.
He's the
what
poster
he's-
child
yep,
for-
I'm
Yep.
what he's been doing all of this for.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I can't thank Ferguson enough. I can't thank you enough personally. You're an amazing lady. You've done so much for K9. And thank you isn't hardly enough. All you could say is that you've changed a lot of lives of a lot of veterans in our program, and it's all due to your initiative and Ferguson's generosity.
Gonna keep doing more.
So
With
God
the amount
bless
of
you.
time that she's around, she'll be able to actually see it.
There
Huh?
you go.
With the amount of time that she's around, she'll be able to actually
Yeah.
see the changes.
There you go.
Thank you.